All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. 7:35 in the morning on my way to my appointment. Already gonna be a little late because of traffic. This was truly a last minute call that I got going on. You got to be there. Well, we agreed at 8 a.m., but it doesn't have to be exactly at 8 a.m. Signing company got me a little bit on this one. They paid good and all of that, but the issue is that when they put the word out on this, they said the order was to be TBD. Now, maybe I missed it, I don't know, but I didn't see anywhere in the order initially where it said that the order had to be done before noon. Typically, when you see TBD, that means you got, for the most part, the whole day. And unfortunately, I don't. So I have a 10 o'clock and an 11 o'clock. And I was like, well, how am I going to squeeze that in before noon? So I called the people. And like I was telling the members last night, I said, when people say, oh, yeah, we can do it early in the morning. And then when you give them an early in the morning time, like 6:30 a.m., and that's fine. I mean, that happens all the time, so, which is not a problem for me to get up at 6:30 in the morning and roll out. But they was like, how about 8? Well, no, I suggested 8, and they was like, yeah, we do 8 a.m. I said, okay, cool. Because sometimes I like to go earlier and then move it up instead of start later and then try to back it down. That's just the way it works for me. So if I start off early, I knew 8 o'clock would probably be the better time, but I said, let me see if they're willing to do 6:37. And they was like, and I was like, all right, cool. 8 o'clock. Yeah, they said, yeah. So I'm on my way over there to do that one. So this order came in yesterday evening, probably about 6:30. So before I had to go do some other appointments that I had on my schedule to do and stuff. So that came in, got that done. So that means I got 6 to do today instead of 5, which is great for me. Because yesterday I had 4, and my 4 went down to 2 because I had to come off with 2 of them. And on both of them, the documents was late. The second one, the documents not only were late, but then the signers was going to be 30 minutes late because they had something that came up. So there was just no way I could support it. So hopefully they got them another notary to take care of that last night. But I felt bad because it was in my neighborhood, but I just couldn't support it because of my schedule. And sometimes you're going to have to do that. You're just going to have to be like, hey, unfortunately, I can't support it. I got this going on, got that going on. And you don't have to give them full details, but, if you got other appointments that you have to do, whether they're closing appointments, could be personal appointments, something you really, really need to get, done, then that's what you do, and you have to let them know. So their job is to get the documents together for you, and your job is, once they get them together, you go out there and make it happen. That's why I don't feel bad about running late to appointments when it's not my fault. And a lot of y'all won't take orders because you're like, well, I can't get there on time. Okay, when will they have the documents ready for you? They say they're gonna try to get them ready. Okay, well, still, can you do the order? Yeah, but I can't get there on time. And sometimes for some people, y'all might be using that as an excuse to not do the work at all. I'm just being real with you. You got to ask yourself, am I using this as an excuse? Because if you've listened to me for a while, I've told y'all over and over and over again what this business is about: availability, and the orders a lot of times are going to be last minute. And if you know this, then why are you freaking out because you can't get to someplace on time? Well, they said it was supposed to be at 3 o'clock and it's 2:30. Got it. They know that. Everybody got common sense in this business to a certain degree, and they understand that. But why pass up on an opportunity to make money just because you see you can't get there right at 3 o'clock, but the documents aren't ready? You haven't even called the customer. What the customer gonna do? Because if you can't be there at 3, then the customer, you might as well just let the customer, the customer then might as well not do it. And that's not on you. That's on them. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that y'all got to take into account. And I know y'all trying to be perfect, never have a mistake, never have anything go wrong, always on time. Everything is just clickety. But if y'all not willing to just be somewhat fluid with this bad boy, y'all ain't gonna ever make no money. I'm just being real with you, all right? Y'all ain't gonna ever make any money in this business because y'all gotta slow down. 25 miles an hour, people. School zone. Because y'all are looking for everything to be so you can have these little bragging points when you get on social media. This ain't about y'all bragging on social media, all this, that, and the other. How can somebody get mad at you for not being at a 3 o'clock appointment when they just sent you the order out at what? 2:30, 2 o'clock. Or the order just came out at 1 o'clock, but they don't have the documents together, and they're telling you they don't know when they're going to have the documents together, but they just want to get a notary schedule to go out there. You got to calm down. You got to calm down. Fortunately for me, they had the documents together for this one this morning, but the other two, they didn't, so I had to bow out. And I've had situations like that. I mean, it has been, late. But this is the flow of the business. Now, the thing is, how do you change it? As notaries, we can't. All we can do is our part to the best of our ability. We can't control what the lenders do. We can't control what the title does. We can't. We cannot control any of that whatsoever. But the only thing you can do is control what you do when you have the opportunity to perform. That's the key. So when you have the opportunity to perform. And everything else will be right. Just do your part correctly. Don't worry about all the other stuff that's out of your control. But, this thing of I'm turning down work because they said be that, y'all might as well get out this business. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling you how it is. Because what would your job tell you? If you had a job and your job was like, hey, look, we need you to be here at this such and such and do that, and you're like, oh, no, I can't do that. Then they're okay. Well, then you need to find you another employer. You need to find some different employment. Because if you can't do what the job requires, and this job primarily requires, as a notary, this business primarily requires you to be available. And if you cannot be available because you have in your mind that you want to be available in a certain manner, and because you can't be available like this, that, or the other, then you do need to just go ahead on and give up the business. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm serious. Because I'm showing y'all have an inside look at my notary life with this business. Y'all do. I tell y'all about the last minute orders, the this, the that. When I got 5 closings in a day and I don't have any documents the night before and I'm scrambling back and forth. I'm giving y'all the insight, and people still like, well, for me, the way I like to do it, man, everything got to be stapled this way and paper clipped that. Look, man, you just got to flow sometimes. You got to just flow and get out of your own head. And until you decide to do that on a consistent basis, you're going to struggle with this business. Hands down, you are just going to flat out struggle. And once I got out of that little uppity mode, and I'm saying some folk out here are uppity. And I just say, okay, let me flow with what's out here. Let me just go with it. And there's these guys that do violin. I don't know, I can't remember their name. Some little violin brothers, 2 little white dudes. I don't know if they're European white or regular white, but they're real cool guys. And They get out there and they play they start off with the normal classical way of playing the violin and the cello and all of that stuff. I forget which one. It might be the cello. But then they break that bad boy down. And even there's a guy, I don't know if he's still in my area, named Eric Taylor, young black guy. He was go around to churches and stuff and play the violin. He had the electric violin. That brother was on point. And you know what was so amazing about him, as well as the two brothers that do the cello? I think it's the cello they do. They go off script. They have a fluidity about them that's like, bam, they start off with, and then they just break that bad boy down. Same thing. Why do black people love scratching so much? Because, yeah, you hear the music, but then when somebody does a little freestyle to it, it's like, hey, freestyle rap. See, the problem is y'all don't know how to freestyle in this business. And freestyling in this business is basically, all right, I got the order came in at 2 o'clock. I got to be there at 3 o'clock. It's a 45-minute drive. The documents ain't going to be ready until 2:30. I'm cool with that. No problem. Hey, this is Griffin Notary Services. Yeah, they got us scheduled to meet at 3 o'clock. I just received your order. I know it's 2 o'clock. I'm waiting on the documents. As soon as the documents get here, I'll be headed out to you. Matter of fact, I'll send you a text letting you know I'm en route. I'm about 45 minutes away. Sorry about the delay. Are y'all okay with that? Because it probably won't be till 3:30 until I get there. Are you good with that? You are? Okay, I'll see you then. Just make sure you have your driver's license ready, and we'll get in there and knock it out. And then once you get there, you just go and get the daggone document signed. This ain't the time for you to be worried about, well, I'm going to show you here everything you need to know on your 4506C. And on the 4506C, the whole purpose of this document is, for them to pull your tax returns, okay? And right here, it shows the years of the tax returns that they're going to pull. So they're going to do this one, and then they're going to do this one, and they don't want to do this one, okay? Yeah, okay, right. Oh, why you have to sign another and you sign one before? You know what? That's a good question. Let's go do some research on that. Hey, ChatGTP, why does the Joneses have to... You ain't got to do all of that. Get in there, get the daggone document signed. But y'all so caught up in your head with all this bull jive that these TMCs done told you to do, and then when it's come time to rock and roll and have some fluidity about yourself, you can't do it. And then you get online looking for another course to pay for, another group to be a part of, another conference to go to. And then the title company comes up and says, hey, can you do this? It's 2 o'clock. We need to be over there by 3 o'clock. No, I can't do it. Because, I have a particular way I like to prepare my documents and get ready for this here engagement of an appointment in which I'm going to articulate to them everything they need to know about their documents. It's like, hey, look, all we need you to do is just get this bad boy signed. It's a 15-page seller. We just need you to get in there, get it signed. Unfortunately, we just waiting for one more thing from the inspector to get cleared, this, that, and the other, and then we can get you the documents so they can sign the INSEC report. Because that's the only thing that's holding it up. And a lot of times that's what it is. It's the INSEC report. Well, I understand, but, even with the INSEC report, I like to do a thorough review of it before I go. And I like to put all of my little flags on every little thing that I have them sign. It's only 15 pages, 7 signatures, 2 notarizations. How much flagging you need to do? Well, I have to get into the right mind space before I do a closing there. Francis, yeah, blacklist this one. Don't ever call this person again. This is what y'all doing. Well, Griff, how are you getting all these orders? Because I ain't doing all that bull jive. I ain't sitting up here following somebody's script, creating my own script. I'm being fluid. I'm flowing. I'm not running with the big dogs. I am the big dog. You the big dog. You be the big dog in your own notary world where you're at. Stop worrying about following every daggone body. There's nothing wrong with taking advice, but sometimes you got to be fluid. And that was the best piece of advice a gentleman gave to me when I was in the military. He said, don't be flexible. He said, be fluid. And one of the things that on the Shamar Moore SWAT, that's what he always says, be fluid. Fluidity, when you fluid, you go with what's happening out there. You can flex, but sometimes a lot of things flex, but they got a certain they're flexible to a certain extent, and then they break. But when you fluid, you just flow with the curve. You flow with okay, here's what I got to do. All right, cool. This is the detour. I got to go this way, go that way. Boom, no problem. I'm fluid with it. If you're not flexible, there's flexibility at times, yes, but sometimes you really got to be fluid. And the lack of fluidity is what's hurting your business. A lot of y'all don't want to be fluid. Y'all want to be starch and rigid on every single thing. And unfortunately, that may not work in every single situation. Now, once I get into the appointment, that's where the rigidness comes in at. Once I get into the appointment. But I got to get in the appointment, and the only way to get in the appointment is to accept the order, even though it's last minute. But once I get in, that's when I shine. Because, see, I can get into an appointment, and we can get in and out. But I got to first do what? Get in the appointment. If I can't get in the appointment, then I can't do my thing while I'm in the appointment. It's like a basketball player, a football player. I got to get in the game. Once I get in the game, because a lot of y'all are good practice people. Y'all practice real good, but when the time to get in the game, y'all ain't ready. I'm ready to get in the game. Every single day I wake up, I'm ready to get in the game. Oh, that's so cute. She got the little babies in the little basket, and two of them running behind her, walking them to school. That's all right. You got to learn to be fluid. The time to be rigid to us, and you still got to be fluid somewhat in your inside the closing. And the fluidity inside the closing is this. Notary, I'm pressed for time. Just give me the documents to sign. That's when you got to be fluid in the signing. Where you got to shut your mouth, stop worrying about doing what so and so and so and so said, how to present documents and all that stuff, and just let them sign. You sign, date, initial. You do the notarization, and you out. Just like these people today, they gotta go. They gotta go somewhere. It's somewhere, I guess. I don't know. They gotta go somewhere, and it's real important. And they got a lot going on this morning. So my job is to get in there, get this bad boy done, so they can do what? Get out. The faster the better. It's 100 and almost 200 pages. It's about 190 some pages, close to 200. And out of the pages, they don't have to sign that much. It's some kind of some kind of agreement or some kind of real estate deal with 3 different entities. And I'm dealing with 2 of the entities. With one of the entities here, this couple, husband and wife couple. So I'm dealing with them here. And the other 2 entities are being taken care of somewhere else. So even though it's 190 some pages, I still think it's closer to real close to 200, but it's at least 186 at minimum, and then those trailing docs 86, 92, 192 pages. 192 pages. When I went through it last night, I was like, oh, they ain't got that much to sign. So you know what I did? I went through and tabbed, since I had the time, tabbed everywhere they needed to sign with my flag sticking on the outside. So here's the paper, my flag sticking on the outside, so I know go here, go here, go here. Now I'm gonna go back and do my review and all of that and make sure I didn't miss anything. But on the initial, it's like, okay, they sign here, they sign here, they sign here, paper clip, boom, boom, boom. But even if I did not have the opportunity to do that, and I got a last minute closing for that same people this morning, and they said meet at 8, I would have still taken it. I would have still taken it, got there, and did it. Because I know how to be fluid. I honestly know how to be fluid. I know when to be rigid, all of that kind of stuff. State law, I'm rigid on. I'm fluid for as where I'm going to meet the people. I'm fluid Except for I ain't gonna be doing it outside in the heat and all that. But I'm fluid, okay, I'm meeting the people to a certain extent. I'm fluid when I get into closing. All right, you know what? Y'all got a lot going on, sir. Let's get you signed first. And then you and the wife can switch with watching the kids or doing whatever you want to do. Fluidity. Can you be fluid in this business? Did not expect the video to be 20 minutes long. My apologies, y'all. Y'all know how I do. I be just chopping it up with y'all, then something pop, and everything. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. So if y'all see the video title something and y'all like the first part, yeah, I'll make it something. I'll come up with something. But that's the point. How fluid are you in your business? You got to have some fluidity, and you got to figure out how to balance the rigidness that you need with the fluidity that you need. There's a time, and they have to coexist. Some of you are too fluid, some of you are too rigid, and I would have to honestly say, once I found my balance, notice how I'm saying my, M-Y, not the balance, because if I say the balance between the two, then you're going to think that, oh, there's some type of magical way that all of us know. You have to find your balance with this and walk in it. And you have to, and there is a balance between how rigid and how fluid you can be with these closings, with the dollar amount you're getting paid, with all of that. There's a rigidness, there's a fluidity to it, and you have to figure out when that takes place. It's that simple. All right, y'all, let me stop because I'll be going on and on and on. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell to get notifications. I'll see you next time. Peace.